Yeovil Town are currently in the 6th tier of English football. However, they just won the National League South and will be playing in the National League next season. Now, this isn't high enough to be included on EA Sports FC, so I've gone back to FIFA 19 where Yeovil were in League 2 for the final time that Yeovil were on a FIFA game to do a mega career mode with them. Hopefully I can rebuild Yeovil and get them from League 2 to Premiership glory and maybe European glory. My name is Toboloco, and if you didn't know, Yeovil are actually my local team. I am based in Somerset, of course, and I've always wanted to do a proper Yeovil career mode, a proper road to glory career mode, and I decided that today would be that day. It's going to be a massive mega project that I want to do throughout, you know, a few months or even a couple of years, if ever. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this first video today. Now, Yeovil Town are actually one of the smallest teams in League 2 at the time in FIFA 19. They had the smallest budget in the Football League back then when Yeovil didn't really have brilliant owners. So improving this side will be incredibly difficult. I tried to sign so many players around in League 2, in League 1, in the Championship, loan players, players from abroad, but nobody was interested in Yeovil. They only have 1 million as their budget, and the wage budget is incredibly small. Everybody kept rejecting me. It was insanely difficult to get anybody on board with my team. So I realized the best thing to do was to create a good youth academy and to just focus on maybe staying in League 2 and rebuilding Yeovil for the future. And alongside of that, just hoping that the current squad that I have right now are good enough to contest for the League 2 title or just staying in League 2. The first match in Yeovil's League 2 campaign was against Bury, a team that doesn't exist anymore. However, they do have a Phoenix club that has now arisen, following from Bury's liquidation from the Football League. Yeovil started off well. In the 33rd minute, we took the lead with Dobre running down the wing and slotting it home for 1-0, the first goal of the season. We then doubled our lead through Almeida's finesse shot in the box before half time to make it 2-0. We honestly could have had more in that game in the first match of the season. Bury did also get one back just before the end of the match, but we come away from home against Bury with our first win of the season. Our first home game of the season at Hewish Park was against Mansfield Town. We created a lot of chances, but the two sides could not be separated as we finished 0-0. A bit of a dull match, but hey, you know, it's still a point. After that match, the first round of the Carabao Cup began with a home fixture against Notts County. Can Yeovil start off their cup campaign right? Well, no. We lost 2-0 and we conceded 2 very early Notts County goals, and Notts County were just way better than us. I think that Notts County had a lot more quality than us, and it really hit home just how hard this career mode might be. We returned to the league. We had to play Notts County again, this time away from home. This time we performed a lot better and managed to draw 0-0 away from home. That's a really good result. Returning to Hewish Park at home to play Oldham, and we really needed to start scoring and winning games again. And that we did, with Alex Fisher assisting Almeida for the opening goal of the game. We had tons of chances in this match, and in the 82nd minute, Fisher assisted Francois Soko for the second goal of the game for the 2-0 victory over Oldham. Before the end of the transfer window, I was getting very desperate for signings. I was looking around clubs, looking for any player that I could grab just to improve our strikers. Even though Soko and Fisher are decent for a team like Yeovil, I really wanted to add another striker just as a backup, like, you know, a 60 rated striker or something. So I got a little desperate and found this guy called Mohad Madri in the RC Lens lineup. And I was like, you know what, I'll give him a chance. So I decided to put in a bid, and luckily he accepted the deal and we got our panic buy just before the end of the transfer window. So welcome to Yeovil Town, Mohad Madri. I decided to give Madri his first chance to show the fans what he's made of against Grimsby Town, and within 6 minutes he assists Sissoko for his first goal of the game. Maybe not a panic buy after all. It was a tough game and Grimsby Town came close at the end, but Yeovil held on for another win, an important 1-0 win over Grimsby. In the Checkatrade Trophy, or now called, I think it's called the Bristol Street Motors Trophy or something like that, we went against Tranmere Rovers and I decided to simulate this game and I got lucky, winning 2-1. Returning to the league, we played MK Dons, who were the favourites to win the league at the start of the season. They are the biggest team in the league and they arguably have the biggest budget in the league as well. However, it took us 36 minutes to open the scoring through a powerful header from this corner, and we managed to keep it that way as we won 1-0 over MK Dons. A brilliant result for Yeovil. So far, I've been very surprised with our good league form. Still yet to lose here in this career mode in the league. Obviously we lost in the cups, but it doesn't really matter. You don't really expect Yeovil to go on a massive cup run. With Yeovil still yet to lose in the league, Newport County threatened that record, scoring first from this ball into the box. It looked like we were about to lose this match. We couldn't get anything going, but then in the 90th minute, the dying seconds of the game, Yeovil equalised to draw 1-1 and remain unbeaten. Fantastic effort. Next up was arguably the best match of the season, and it came against Swindon Town. Yeovil won a penalty early in the game, which Soko converted. And then in the second half, Swindon had a free kick, which found the head of Rory for 1-1. It was a fantastic ball into the box and a really brilliant header. Swindon then went on to score a diving header to make it 2-1. Yeovil were in disarray here, as also straight after we conceded that goal, we conceded a penalty and it was converted to make Sweden go 3-1 up over Yeovil with 25 minutes to play. Will Yeovil lose their first match of the season? Well, no, we never give up. Immediately, we stole the ball from Swindon's midfield and then played a through ball, which new signing Madri latched onto to score to make it 3-2. A little tiny deflection of the goalkeeper, but still. And then in the 80th minute, Patterson's shot took an extremely lucky deflection for Swindon own goal to make it 3-3. The match ended 3-3 and honestly it was one of the best matches I played so far. It was very competitive and it just showed that we weren't going to win every single game this season. Despite us being the smaller team, you know, League 2 teams tend to be quite easy to beat mostly, but some of them will put up a good fight, as you will see later on in this video. So 10 matches in, we came against Crawley Town. Madri scored first after the first shot was blocked, and in the second half Soko scored this header for 2-0 as we dispatched Crawley Town 2-0. Yeovil's amazing run sees them top of the league, with Lincoln City, Colchester and MK Dons only 2 points behind Yeovil. And speaking of Colchester, the next big match was against Colchester away from home. A chance to pull away from Colchester and go a few more points ahead at the top of the league. Colchester had so many chances against Yeovil, but Yeovil stood firm. And somehow Yeovil scored against the run of play to make it 1-0 against Colchester, despite Colchester basically dominating the game. And then afterwards Fisher finds the net for the Glovers to make it 2-0 away from home. A huge victory for Yeovil in the title race early in the season. After that big game against Colchester, there was another big game on the horizon for Yeovil as we played Exeter City. A derby match between the two sides. I'm sure a lot of Exeter fans and maybe some Yeovil fans may disagree with that sentiment, but I remember the days when Yeovil and Exeter were in League One and you know, there was a little bit of a rivalry between the two. Even though Exeter aren't in Somerset, they are quite close to Yeovil, you know, not that far away. However, we took the lead through a rebound through this amazing strike to tap it in for 1-0. We push forward to score again for 2-0, and then in the second half we made it 3-0. Look at this strike from Dobre. Has to be the goal of the season, surely. This strike was absolutely insane. When I was recording it, I was like, whoa, a League 2 player just pulled that off? Absolutely incredible, and Yeovil were absolutely dominant in a 3-0 victory over Exeter City. Back in the Checkatrade Trophy, we beat Crawley Town again 1-0, and for a while it felt like Yeovil were unstoppable. We drew to Cheltenham in the league, beat Tranmere 3-0, but then this happened. We came up against Carlisle. We were away from home to Carlisle, and we travelled all the way up to Carlisle just to get absolutely destroyed 5-0. I couldn't believe it when I was playing this. The computer dominated me. Carlisle were just on fire. And the funny thing is, back when I recorded that as well, Carlisle was sat 16th in the league. 16th. And we lost 5-0 to them. Absolutely just bonkers. Terrible performance from Yeovil. We definitely need to bounce back from that absolute humbling. And luckily we were able to do that against Morecambe. It took us an hour, but we finally opened the scoring with Madry. And then we made it 2-0 thanks to this header by Fisher. It finished in the end 2-0. More sad news on the horizon for Yeovil as our Checkatrade Trophy run came to an end as we lost to League 1 Fleetwood Town 1-0. They were really good against us and we just couldn't quite score against them. The League 1 sides, you can tell there was a massive gap between us and League 1, and we definitely need to improve if we are going to go into League 1. However, back in the league, we came up against title chasers Lincoln City, and we made it look so easy with a 4-0 victory. And just check out this goal from Soko, being one of the best of the matches. Like seriously, like we've been scoring some cracking goals for a League 2 side. Absolutely sensational strike from Francois Soko. Following that demolition of Lincoln City, we can only get a draw against Macclesfield Town. It ended 1-1. It also looked like we were about to drop points again, but this time we secured the victory in the dying seconds thanks to Duffus, and it was a very important 3 points against Port Vale. We turn our attention to the first round of the FA Cup. Yeovil have a big history in the FA Cup, being one of the giant killers back in the early days of the competition. However, that giant killing wasn't going to happen today. We came up against Rochdale and they were far too good for us in the snow as they rolled us 3-1 and sent us packing in the FA Cup. Unlucky Yeovil. We were able to score against Rochdale, but again, a team that are in League 1 just way better than us. There definitely is a class between League 1 and League 2. I simulated against Forest Green and stupidly lost 2-1, but we were able to quickly recover to beat Cambridge 2-0. We had another classic, absolute classic match against Northampton Town coming up for you. So we took the lead very early on, but Northampton struck back for 1-1. Yeovil quickly responded with this effort to make it 2-1. Within 15 minutes of play, we already have 3 goals in the match. Northampton then scored this goal to make it 2-2 3 minutes later. So within 20 minutes, we have scored like 4 goals between us. And then before half time, they made it 3-2, and sadly we couldn't come back into the match as we lost 3-2. A very, very good half of football. 5 goals within the space of a half, but sadly Yeovil dropped points to Northampton Town. We then return to Exeter City and we can only get a 1-1 draw against our rivals, and I was a little worried that we were starting to fall off. You know, these draws, losing in the FA Cup and everything like that, well, I'm guessing it was starting to affect the players a little bit. But then we won 2-0 at Tranmere, so maybe it wasn't too bad after all. Almost at the halfway point of this career mode, and the end of this video, sadly, was against Cheltenham Town, where it took us 85 minutes to find the winning goal, thanks to Alex Fisher. That gave us the 3 points, and we are still top after 26 games with 53 points. Yeovil have been doing absolutely fantastic, you know, dropping points here and there, but still remaining consistent enough to be top of the league. Newport and MK Dons 4 points behind us, challenging for the league as we enter the halfway point. So I'm going to end this part of your Yeovil career right here. I figured that for, you know, a pilot episode and everything like that, I do half of the career mode now and the other half of the career mode in League 2 another time, depending on if this is popular enough, you know, if you guys like it. I know a lot of you may not care about Yeovil, but, you know, it's a team that I care about, so obviously I'm going to be more passionate about making videos on them. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if you did enjoy this first part of your Yeovil mega career, your road to glory, whatever you want to call it, then give it a like and subscribe. Keep it local as always, and I'll see you again for the next video.